Welcome to day 42 of How to Automate Your Law Firm in 90 Days. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. We are kicking off our use cases for Google's Notebook LM. I did a little intro on another video for day 41. I will have that linked up top. For this video, I will be showing you how you can use Notebook LM for case summaries for any type of documentation case law documents you upload and just getting briefings, summaries, or any other questions you may want to ask. Let's dive in. Let's get started. I am already on Notebook LM's website. In order to get there, the URL or website address is notebooklm.google.com, and you can use your either your personal account, or you can use, if you have a business account with Google, you can use it. One thing that I do want to just give a warning about: whenever you're using it, just make sure you don't use any type of documentation that is considered classified or confidential. Okay. Before we dive in and I start with uploading the documents, I want to give just a quick for you to have a quick look at the different wage and hour class action cases we'll be looking at. You see, this one is Morales and Sanchez versus Aeromark Corporation. Here is one, Berlanga versus Echelon Enterprises. Here's another one, Diaz versus Grill Concept Services, and also Wang versus Chinese Daily News. And all of these are hour and wage class actions that are in California. Okay. So just wanted you to kind of look at the documentation that I will be uploading into Notebook LM. So what I'm going to do is click create a notebook, and just so I can give like a brief summary of what I talked about in the first video concerning uploading documentation and why I believe Notebook LM is so powerful, is it gives you 50 sources that you can upload, which is amazing. Okay. And that's for just one notebook. So think about for each notebook, you can have a specialization. Like for this one, this is for hour and wage class actions. If there was another notebook or any other type of specific categorized documentation you wanted to use, you can use that. You can create another notebook and use that as well. Okay. Also, you are able to see the different types of file types you can upload: PDF, .txt, Markdown, and audio, like for instance, MP3. If you have documentation in Google Drive, Google Docs, you have Google Slides, you can upload links like a website, YouTube, or you could paste copy text. Powerful. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop the documentation that I just showed you. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hold on one second. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my folders and I am going to drag that information in. Okay. Okay. And we have an error. Let me see. Okay. Uploading, error, uploading, try again. So what I'm going to do is I am going to refresh, and let's see if I can just drag and drop. And I tried to drag and drop more than one. Let's see if that works. Okay, awesome. It looks like everything is good. Okay, so let me try and drag and drop the other three as well. See if there's no issue. Awesome. Okay, it looks like all of them, because we don't have that error, Glad it happened in real time so that you can see. All you have to do is, okay, all you have to do is, if you saw how there were errors, all I did was refresh, and I attempted to drag and drop those files again, and it worked. I'm going to go ahead and change the title of my notebook. So let me go over here, and I want to make it, I'll put California hour and wage case law. Okay. That's what I can name it. And again, you can name it whatever you want. So let's kind of go over what we have here on our dashboard. You see on the left-hand side in this column, you are able to upload your sources, and also it lists them as well. And you can name the PDFs. I didn't. I just went to Justia, and it's justia.com, found some case law for hour and wage cases, and just downloaded it. Okay. And you see, you can again add any more documentation as well. So let's look at discover sources. Describe something you'd like to learn about or explore a new topic. Let's look and see, because I haven't used this before. Let's see. Let's put in California hour and wage case law. Uh, Class actions. Let me see what it does. Okay, so what it's doing is using Google to find information concerning wage and hour class action suits. Okay, which is pretty cool, because if you don't know, or if you're looking for more information, definitely you can take a look at it. So, and not only can you do that, you're able to go and click the link to open it up. So let's look and see. Oh, and all it is talking about giving some information about hour and wage laws in California, and about meal break laws, work break laws. And that's what the documents that I uploaded with the class action cases, most of them had something to do either with meal breaks or working overtime, rest breaks. And here, all it is just giving you, it went to a website to kind of give you more information about it. I like that you can see also as well different settlements that were made in California. Here, Starbucks for 3 million, FedEx, the year, and that was 2.1 million. Ally Burton 2015, 11 million, and it tells why. Like for instance, for Ally Barton, did I say Ally Burton? I meant Ally Barton Security Services. They violated California state law by failing to provide their security officers with meal and rest breaks. Okay, so this one isn't specific about, yes, it did give us a summary of different class action suits lawsuits that happen, but it's a summary. And if we're trying to, get more information, a little bit more information about different cases, definitely we could probably look it up in Justia to try to find that case and get the documentation. But it looks like that's what it is giving us. Wage. Okay, I'm going to look at one more against Disney. Oh no, Disney. Yeah, so it's just giving you websites. You see, it's giving links, which is good. There are references, but um, not specifically downloaded documents that you can use to give information about, unless you're looking for something like this. Okay. And I was trying to see if there was maybe a PDF, but it's good. This is good for you to be able to see if it's something that you want to discover more information. And if you can choose all of them, you can choose, a few, and you can import them if you like what you see. Okay, but we're just going to stay with the documents that we have so that we can start digging in. And for this one, all we're going to do is we are going to use our chat to get different a summary and different items that we want to know about these different class actions that were made. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to say is, um, can hold on. Can you summarize rulings for all of the class action lawsuits included? Okay. Okay. So here, great. Based on the sources provided, here are the rulings for the class action lawsuits included. So as you see, it goes through each one, and let me zoom it in a little bit. Oh, that might be too much. Okay. Um, am I able to move these over? No, I can't. I can't move it over. What I was going to try to do is move it over to widen it a little bit, but it's okay. But as you see, it goes through each one of the cases, and it gives the rulings for each one. So starting off, number one, the Morales versus Aramark, which is the documentation that I showed you, and it talks about all of the information. The court granted final approval of the joint stipulation of settlement and release. Now, this is something I'm going to go down because I almost got excited to show you something. Okay, so as we're scrolling down, the court awarded class counsel attorney fees of $975,000 and costs of $18,862.55. And it's like, wow, that is very detailed. And you see that right here, it gives, it has a circle and a number. Basically, that's a resource. So let's click on that resource. And when you click it, here is where you can find the information that it is giving you. Okay, within that document, you see the document guide. It's the one that like I mentioned, I downloaded it from Justia. And here it talks about the maximum settlement amount. Here is the $975,000 that it talks about for class counsel attorney fees, and also the cost sum as well. That is pretty cool. Okay. So let me get out of that and let me see if I can. Okay, good. So what I did, and let me go back. Okay. The way that I got back to it is whenever you look at a source and you want to look at that specific information, all you do is click, and I just forgot where I went. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Oh, and it's showing it, but I'm saying, why doesn't it take me back and highlight it like it did before? I'm going to try another one. I don't know why it doesn't go back like it did before to show me. Let's see. The court approved the settlement of release claims. So let me click that. Okay, and here it is right here. No. Hold on. Okay, here it is right here. The court approves the settlement of release claims as defined. So I just had to scroll down some. And then if you want to, because if you notice, it widened that area when I was looking for that specific information. If I want to minimize it, all I have to do is go up to the top where it says close source view, and it goes back and it widens up this area as well. So that's for the one of the cases. Let's go. Here is the other one we had. Berlanga versus Equilon Enterprises. The court issued an order denying the defendant Shell's motion to dismiss the plaintiff's amended complaint. And again, all you would have to do is click it, and it would go down to that information so that you can see, yes, that's correct. And here it is right here, denying defendant's motion to dismiss. Okay. And I can close it back up. But that is, pretty cool. Okay. Here's the one, Diaz versus Grill Concept Services. It gives some information as well. And also Wang versus CDN, the Chinese Daily News. Okay. So again, summarization, as opposed to having to look through all of the information in the documents, not only does it give a summarization of the rulings, but also it gives information where I can look at the specific information that it's saying. It goes right to that document and the resources. Okay. So then another thing, and let me scroll down. Okay. Let's ask, and let's do save to note. Let's see what that does. Okay. And here is the note. When you click save to note, it puts it over here in your notes section. Okay. Awesome. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to say, let's use Wang versus Chinese Daily News. I'm going to say, I want to know the key facts about this documentation. So I'm going to say, identify key facts, if I could spell, about Lin Wang versus Chinese Daily News. Okay. Here are drawn on the sources. Here are the key facts. It outlines the plaintiffs, the defendant, the allegations. And like I was telling you before, again, this is the hour and wage class actions in California, wrongful denial of overtime compensation, wrongful denial of meal and rest breaks, inaccurate and itemized wage statements, penalties of wages due but not properly paid at termination. Okay, the course of litigation and key rulings. It goes over that. So this is, not only is this good for a law firm, I think it would be good for a law student as well, who, is trying to learn, even for junior attorneys as well. If you're trying to gather information, learn different case law, and using case law for your state, even at a federal level, for the different, and I'm using it for hour and wage class actions, but you can use it for anything, and upload the documentation, even discover to see if there's any information that Google can further give you to use and include for your sources, and start asking different information. It is great. Okay. Oh, look. Okay. So also, I want you to look at the bottom, and it's giving you some prompts that possibly you would want to use as well. Here it says, summarize the central legal question in Berlanga versus Equilon Enterprises. And that is one of our resources. Let me, I'm going to click the arrow to see what else it says. Oh, let me see. Explain I don't know what it says. Something, failure to pay in DS versus Grill Concepts. What was the primary basis for Wang versus Chinese News Daily appeal? So let's look at, explain the concept of willful failure. Willful failure to pay in DS versus Grill Concepts. Okay, and here it gives the answer. The concept of willful failure to pay is central to the court's analysis of waiting time penalties under California Labor Law Code, Section 203. The appellate court explained this concept by referring to both statutory interpretation and existing case law. Awesome. And then here it talks about the definition of it, and it gives a case, Barnhill versus Robert Sanders and Co. It further clarified that willful in this context means that the employee intentionally failed or refused to perform an act which was required to be done. And it gives a lot of great information. So not only if, like, let's say you don't have, there are questions you may initially want to come up with, and you type those questions, but having some questions that AI thinks of as well that you can use, that is great as well, because it can further your learning about a different for a different case. Great. So for this video, what we did was we gave a use case of legal research and case preparation by uploading documents and getting case summary for the different case laws. And for this example, it was for the state of California for hour and wage class actions. That's what we used as our sources. We went into our chat to ask questions. First, it was summarizing the rulings for all of the cases that we uploaded. And I know 4 isn't a lot. Remember, you can use 50, even MP3s. So if there's a court that it was recorded and you can download that as an audio, you can upload that as well. So for this example, it was just 4, but just think about all of the different case laws you could possibly use for whatever you're trying, the type of legal research and in preparing for a case. Okay. And a good thing about it is one of the things that, and I've read some documentation about law firms who are using ChatGPT or any type of large language model. With this one, under the hood, it may be Gemini, more than likely for Google, is if the LLM can't answer the question you ask because it really wants to help, what it'll do is something called hallucinate. And hallucination means it'll come up with cases, it'll come up with answers for you because it really wants to answer it. And in the information that it has, if it can't give you that information, well, what it'll do is, like I mentioned, make it up. So being able to upload resources that you can use in order to get the information you need is great. I just saw something. It says uncertainty in the law, and here's the resource. I wonder if it just, oh yeah, it goes to the different case. I wanted to click it to see if it would open up and let us see that Barnhill versus Robert Saunders and Company, but it didn't. It was just what was in the document. Okay. And also going back to the different things that I wanted to touch bases on and what we were learning in this video. Not only did we do the case rulings, we identified key facts of a specific case, but also as we were doing that, we were able to look down here and see, oh wow, there are some questions that the chat model gives us that we could maybe look at as well. Okay, which is amazing. So this is part 1 of our use cases. This use case is legal research and case preparation that you can use. Again, I said your law firm. It's something that junior attorneys in your law firm can use. Also, law students as well. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. My name is Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. Have a great day.